Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest stories. We start with Oriol Romeu, as it has been reported that Barca have agreed with the midfielder for a 2-year contract as a move looks so close. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about Sofyan Amrabat, as it has been reported that the Barca-linked midfielder could now be on his way to Saudi Arabia. We are also going to be discussing more on that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. As Barcelona continue their search for a new defensive midfielder to replace Sergio Busquets, the La Liga champions have narrowed in on Oriol Romeu as their target, having been forced to rule out more for the likes of Martin Zubimendi and Joshua Kimmich due to finances. The Catalans have settled on Romeu as the option as he fits well into the club's economic reality and has prior knowledge of playing for Barcelona. In fact, Catalan outlet Sport is now reporting that Barca are already having an agreement with Romeu over a 2-year contract with an option for an additional 12 months. It has been reported earlier today that Barca would not offer the player a long-term contract due to age. After all, he will be turning 32 in the month of September later this year, and that is what they appear to have done with a 2-year contract offer, which will have an option for another additional year, much like the contract that was offered to new signing Ilkay Gundogan. What now remains to be done is for the club to finalize an agreement with Girona themselves over a transfer fee. The Catalan club's top officials are set to meet in the next 24 hours or to 48 hours to discuss whether Romeu is the best option and whether they need to go all about to sign him. The 31-year-old has a release clause worth 8 million euros, but Barca do not wish to meet that figure and negotiate a lower figure for him with Girona. Xavi Hernandez wants the new pivot midfielder to arrive at the club before the start of the pre-season camp, and thus the next 24 to 48 hours will be crucial to that deal. Of course, Oriol Romeu's signing still looks somehow complicated, even though Barcelona are having the optimism that they will get the deal over the line. The player is eager to move to Barca, there is no doubt about that. But Girona are not happy with the way Barca have been going about it, because 8 million euros is what Girona is asking. But funny enough, Barca are still trying to negotiate, and Girona don't see why Barca should negotiate a player worth only 8 million euros. Of course, his age is currently 31 and will be 32 in September, but that doesn't change the fact that 8 million should be affordable by Barca, at least. Barca have also come up with, a proposal that if they might include a player in that transaction, but Girona are saying they won't be interested in any player exchanges as they just want the money. So as it stands, the player have accepted already with Barca. Personal terms have been reached on player side for a deal worth 2 years. It's a 2-year contract with an additional 1 year. But Girona have still not made a move, or they have still not come with Barca to make a total agreement. So that is what is currently left now at the moment. But Barca are confident that the deal with Oriol Romeu will be successful. Of course, Oriol Romeu, a former La Masia player himself, have every right to show interest in coming back to his home, where he started as a kid, but he never had no chance to play for Barca. He played just 2 games and was sold to Chelsea back in 2011, and he has not looked back since then. Majority of his career have come from England, especially from Southampton, where he made his name known. He's a very physical player, and there are many inside the Barca board that they don't see the reason why manager Xavi is really pushing for Oriol Romeu. And some of them are asking the reason why Xavi can't give players like Nico Gonzalez a chance to cover up for Busquets in that role. show trust to the players, give them confidence that they can do it. Because that is how Barca was in the past. The La Masia was given a lot of talents. Barca did not spend on them. And of course, homegrown players were the one who turns out to be the greatest legends. And it's very, very sad that nowadays Barca don't have faith. They don't trust their own homegrown talents. They better use hundreds of millions to buy top players outside who don't even have their heart on the club, like the La Masia players. So let's see how it goes for the purchase of Oriol Romeu. For the longest time, we've been talking about this guy and the transfer update on him. But enough of the talking. I think we've been talking way too much because Barca have been, I don't know, they show interest more than anybody. But when it comes to sign the players, they are always like, I don't know, complaining about the money. At the end, we cannot count the number of players that have been abandoned, especially for the Busquets role. It all started with Zubimendi, went to Kimmich, went to Amrabat, went to Brozovic. All those players failed to materialize. But the way Barca were talking about them to the media is as if the move will materialize. So let's hope that this one will go through. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. It is no secret that Fiorentina midfielder Sofyan Amrabat has decided to leave the Serie A club this summer. Barcelona's interest in the Moroccan international since January has been public knowledge, but according to Mundo Deportivo, the midfielder is attracting interest from Saudi Arabia. It has been quite a long time since Barcelona were linked to Amrabat. Over the last few weeks, however, the team from Catalonia decided to cool off their pursuit to an extent, even though the midfielder continued to harbor hopes of a move to Barcelona. Fellow La Liga side Atletico Madrid and Premier League giants Manchester United have shown interest in the pivot, but as has happened with other players this year, a move to Saudi Arabia is on the cards right now. Amrabat has a contract with Fiorentina until 2024, but everything points to the fact that he will leave the Italian team this summer, and the Middle East could be his next possible destination, despite his desire to join Barcelona. As far as Barca are concerned, Amrabat moving to Saudi Arabia does not affect them in any way. Barca were largely restricted to make a move for the midfielder due to Fiorentina's asking price. Instead, the La Liga champions are set to focus their efforts on signing Oriol Romeu for Girona. The 31-year-old former La Masia midfielder has a release clause worth just €8 million, which makes him a much more cost-effective option for the Catalan heavyweights. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.